Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. We're streaming live and we're going to go through some really simple stuff on how to keep your trailer in good shape to tow your vehicle. If you're hearing a very odd drumming sound, that is my air handler AC unit dripping because I'm doing a repair right now and I'm waiting for some epoxy to dry. And there's a little bucket down there catching the condensation. So I apologize for the thud, thud, thud. That's just how it's going to be tonight. That's how it works. So uh, let's go through just some simple stuff. When you are trailering, you're obviously going to be driving a lot slower. Don't try to pass everything out there. And this is because you're doing a magic trick. You're moving two vehicles with one person. So just sort of relax and enjoy the drive, do the speed limit. And to also remember that these tires, even the very best trailer tires, are only rated for about 75 miles an hour. So if you think you're going to set the cruise at 90 with the trailer, you're going to have a bad time because those tires cannot handle, you know, 90 miles an hour, especially if it's hot or, rough roads or whatever. Please just keep them under 75. And 70 is kind of the limit throughout the country. And so, you know, just 75. Trust me, that's plenty. And that'll get you there quick enough. So that's just one of those safety things. The other thing, you're going to need a much bigger turning radius than what you're used to. Even if you have a big ass truck, you're going to need a much bigger turning radius. So plan on that. And also, like when you're stopping for gas and stuff, look for smoother in and out of the gas station. And don't forget, use your mirrors. Make sure you're going to clear all the posts and stuff at the gas pump. I've seen so many people just bonk into stuff. They're not paying attention or whatever, and then bonk, and they take out a fender or they damage their car or their truck or worse. And I have no clue why this is tilted. Hang on. Hang on. I got to untilt the computer, and I'm going to get wet while doing it because I'm getting dripped on. So, yeah, I got dripped on a little bit. So let me untilt this. I have the skills. Oh my God. I swear I have the skills necessary to do this. All right. I don't know why it showed up tilted. Sorry. So, yeah, plan on bigger turns, plan on more space. When you're trying to do any kind of backing up with a trailer, a really easy way to do this is to hold the steering wheel from the bottom. And then wherever you watch your mirrors, whichever way you want the trailer to turn your hand that way. So if you want it to go left, you can watch the end of the trailer go left. It's harder to do trailering stuff, maneuvering when you have an open trailer because it's more difficult to see the end of the trailer. You don't have a big box right here. So it takes a little bit of practice, but definitely practice in your neighborhood. Go to the grocery store, try parking in, a spot and backing up into it. A little bit of practice goes a long way. So try that out. What else? Let's get into some of the stuff that we're going to need on the trailer for taking our car wherever we want to take it, whether it's, the Viper or if it's a race car or whatever it is. A truck, doesn't matter. You're going to need some really basic stuff, and we're going to take care of that. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, I picked up the trailer. I'll tilt down a little bit and I'll show it to you. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That's from someone else. Actually, let me change this mic right here. Okay, there we go. That was from someone else, but we'll take care of that. And I'll show you a quick way to do that. While your light is on order, you'll want to protect that because you have a lot of electrical. All the electrical comes from the truck. Some red duct tape will help protect that from getting water in it and from grounds going bad. So just a quick, simple, easy thing to do. And then, yeah, we'll do some more tips here in a minute, especially with those pool noodles. Hang on. Mm. So, a little piece of helpfulness: gloves. And I don't, maybe it's just my, pedicured hands, but a simple $15, $20 pair of gloves. Keep them in the truck underneath the back seat. They're just for trailering. They're just for doing latches. They're doing other stuff. You can really cut up your hands, you know, rifling around under cars. These Featherlight trailers, these beds are very rough. I'd never put my bare knee on there. Oh God, it's vicious. So you have gloves. This trailer, as you can see, all the way up front right there, has a spare tire. And what's nice is when you have a damaged tire, excuse me, or a blowout, you already have a spare there. Really helpful. What this trailer has, and I did this with all of Scott's trailers. And just so you guys know, I prepped this trailer about 3 years ago, and it's been down here for about 2 years. So I'm doing all of this again because it just hasn't been done. It's been sitting outside. So we have I don't think he comes apart because he's rusted together. We have a socket just for the lug nuts and the bolts on the spare, and it's just a breaker bar. This is probably $20, and this stays with the trailer. It goes with the trailer. Trust me, you'll want this. If you have to change out a tire and you don't have, like, the lug nuts are a different size than the lug nuts on the truck, so you're going to have a problem. That's why you have a dedicated lug nut wrench just for the trailer. Some other stuff you're going to want is a battery maintainer. This is the old one, and we're going to replace this. This one served its purpose for many years. This is the NoCo Genius 1100. 1100 means 1.1 amps, 1100 milliamps. And this one worked great for a while, but again, he's been out in the sun. He got Ohio'd, so he has served his life. And I don't know if he still works or not. We'll triple check with him. But you want to, if you have any kind of battery on your trailer, you're going to want a battery maintainer. So what we're doing now, because this trailer is in Florida and it sees a lot of sunshine, like, I don't know, 300 days of sunshine or whatever, we're using this. And I just picked this up and he works great. It was about $35. He's a 20-watt solar panel, and he comes with a regular SAE charger, hooks right onto the battery. This guy, you just set kind of at an angle so that rain and crap comes off of him, and he juices up your battery while he's in the sun. Now, if you're in Ohio, this is totally useless. Not going to do a damn thing. So you'll have to get a regular extension cord and a maintainer. This guy, don't need an extension cord. You can park the trailer out in the backyard. It'll be just fine. It'll keep the battery charged. Again, these are like $40. You can get 30-watt ones that are like $50. And the NoCo Genius, the 1 amp will be fine. Even the 2 amp, they're about $40 or $50. So if you want a pro tip, Black Friday or any of the holiday sales, go check Amazon, go check NoCo's website, score the good stuff. We'll get to other stuff that we need on the trailer. I have 2 of these. I don't remember why. I think because we were hauling tractors with this trailer. We have huge wheel chocks. Now, wheel chocks are really important, especially if you're parking on a hill or if you're going to park somewhere and leave the trailer, take the truck somewhere and come back. You want to make sure that the trailer doesn't slide around anywhere. Now, normally the the jack up front keeps it from sliding. This is just your insurance. These guys are heavy duty, big, heavy boys. Next up, you'll want a 4x4 wood block, at least 4x4. 2x4 doesn't really cut it. 4x4 is a great size, and you can tell this guy's been well used. He has some Ohio on him, and oh yeah, he got Ohio'd right there. So you want a wood block, and this is what your jack goes on. Next up, we'll do axle straps. Now, if you don't have storage in your trailer for all this stuff, you can get a duffel bag or in an old Amazon box or whatever. Put all this stuff in an Amazon box and just label it towing, and then put it in your truck for when you're going to tow, whatever car. Just keep it all together. These are axle straps, and you can see they're 18 inches long, and they jingle kind of like bells. These go around the axle of the car like that, and then your strap goes here and it'll pull on the axle. You can use this on, if you have space to go over a frame or whatever, you can use these as well. These are also great for like on the Viper on the front, I have a tow hook. So you can run these through the tow hook. That also works. So axle straps, you want 4 of them, or get wheel straps. Wheel straps will be almost twice the length, and they'll go through the wheel. On the Viper, I use wheel straps up front, and I have tow hooks in the back, these low profile, cool tow hooks. So, and then I have a tow hook on the nose of the Viper too that I winch it up with. Probably the biggest and most important thing is your straps. Now, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of straps, and all of them are great. There's no one's better than the other. It all kind of depends on what you're towing and how you're towing. E-Track is super, super popular, and it's very versatile. It's also very expensive. Oh, we got comments here. The 1 hour of sun is plenty for the sun. Yeah, that 1 hour of sun that you guys get in June, not going to charge that battery. Sorry. Wheel straps, depending on what you're towing and what your trailer's equipped with. Like I said, E-Track's really popular. This trailer has D-rings. These guys pop up and swivel. Pop up and swivel. And you can tell they have not been lubed in ages. There's 6 of these on the trailer, so depending on what you're hauling. Like I said, we were hauling tractors with this, so the ones in the middle we would actually frame out, and those worked pretty well. The wheel straps, you can also get ones that like these that are just straight straps with hooks on each end. You can get ones that are E-Track on one side and hook on the other. You can get ones that go over the actual tire itself and hook into the E-Track on both ends, and then you ratchet it. It's got a not a swivel, what's the word I'm looking for, a roller, and then you clamp it down, and those work really well too. Those are also very quick and very easy to do because you don't have to crawl under the car. You just wrap it over the wheel. There's a lot of different ones out there. There's a lot of, it's hard to find a really bad one, but there are crappy ones out there. So when you're buying stuff, whether it's on Amazon or locally or whatever, spend a few extra bucks and get the nicer ones. These are all like super nice straps. They're almost 20 years old, and I'll give you some hints on how to make them nice. Now, here's another bonus, and you guys will want this for your tow vehicle. Hang on, let me grab a set out here. Gigantic tray is in my way. These are the 4-pack of just regular 500-pound straps from Home Depot. It's a 4-pack. I think they're 12 feet long, might be 15 feet long, and they come with this great little bag. So you have 4 ratchets and 4 straps. These guys, again, they fit right underneath the seat of your truck, and you never know when you're going to need them. Whether you're like, oh, we got to pick up a refrigerator, or you know, in a desperation move, you could probably use these to hold a car at least down to the neighbor's house or to the grocery store or something. I would not ever, I would use big straps. This would be, if I was in the middle of a firefight in Kandahar, then I would use these. But otherwise, stick with the big boy straps. These are only 500 pounds each. So that's those. But you can also, you keep those in your truck and, or in your tow vehicle, whatever it is. They'll come in handy either as a backup for something, or, you know, a just in case, or you have extra wheels and tires and you're going to, you know, the car goes forward and you're going to put the wheels and tires on the back. You can use those straps to hold those down. So you just have those kind of spare straps. We'll go through these guys. It's aluminum trailer, so it's going to make some noise. These are your standard ratcheting straps. These are 2-inch. These are, like I said, these are about 20 years old. I don't know the brand name on them, but you can tell they've been at Florida and Ohio. There probably was a brand name on here. Oh, it's something Sport Line, whatever it says there. And these guys have served very well. They have a hook and a safety catch on each side. You can also, you can pull this strap, this section out, and flip it around. These are also nice because they have a axle strap buckle in here. So you can technically use this as an axle strap. So that's very handy. Not necessary. You can slide these out of the way, from, you know, just fold them down. If you're not going to use them, that's fine, just like that. And use a regular tow hook. But these guys are great. They're what? I don't know, 10 feet long. The buckles work very, very easily. Right now we're in the locked position, so he's not coming undone. We have to pull this and unlock it. And now we can do, sorry, unlock it. Now we can do ratcheting, and it'll start to crank up on these. And then when we want to release it, we go all the way forward. And now he's released. I got to step on it to give it some tension. He's released, and he's not going to pull because he's going the opposite direction. Anyway, that's how you release it. Then you want to go back. You go back into ratchet mode. You can ratchet and get it tight, close it down, and it's locked in place. Now, the other thing when you're ratcheting, make sure, everyone wants to pull it tight, you know, pull it snug, and then just get 2 or 3 clicks. You actually want a full loop on here. You want this, like right now, this would not be acceptable. You want at least 1 full loop on the ratcheting portion. That's really important because the strap is then grabbing onto itself, and it makes it very difficult for that strap to come loose and wiggle its way loose. Like right now, it can slide because there's nothing holding it on this side. So it could slide. You don't want that. So next thing, when these guys get sun-dried like this, it's very, very easy to take care of them. Soak them with a garden hose. Just give them a spray with the power washer, and keep them out of the sun for a few hours and let that water soak in. Now, it's not going to help with the sun fading, but it's going to make them not as rough. Another thing, if you see some frayed ends, and it's going to make noise when I put it back down. When you see frays like this, look to see where they're at. Like this is on the far, sorry, on the far opposite end. Not a big deal because we're not doing any pressure there. If you do have frays, replace the strap. It's not worth the risk of losing a vehicle because, you know, you have a frayed end, and it's going to come apart during the drive. Now this, since this is the excess side, we're not too incredibly worried about it. You can trim it off and maybe melt it and get it a little cleaner looking, but just inspect your straps to make sure that they're not, this obviously rubbed against something. I'm guessing probably this buckle and eventually has frayed itself. So just get another strap, please. It honestly is not worth it. Since this guy's kind of ready, I'll show you guys how to wrap straps. A lot of people wrap them differently. I'll show you the best way and quickest way that I've found to do it. So I have the handle up, latching mechanism on this side, hook on this side. Now I'm going to bring the hook to the side of the main part of the strap, and he's going to latch on right there. And then this guy, who's even on both sides, I made sure he was even. He slides in there, and then we're going to wrap around. And we're just going to keep rolling it around. And now I have a strap that I can grab with one hand. Everything's sort of together. And then when it's time to use the strap, if you have the balls to do this, you can grab it from this end and let it roll out. Or you can just calmly unroll it, and there you go. Now you got your strap ready to go. And you're about halfway, which in most cases is probably enough. So those are the quick strap things. And also, when we're talking about lubing stuff, like the D-rings, your trailer hitch, definitely want to lube that. You also want to keep these lubricated. It's not so much that they stay locked. They'll stay locked when they're corroded and stuff, but releasing them is a pain in the ass if they're corroded. So these guys, thankfully, have been in that box up at the front, so they're not super weathered. But if you do get some Ohio'd ones, then you can use lube. Let's see, what do we got here? We are going to try this on our, we're trying some new stuff out. So I don't know if it works or not. We'll find it out. This is the same guys who make Freol. This is called Lube, Lubidol. And we're going to give this a try on the trailer straps. So we'll see how well this works. We'll take it on a couple of trips and see if it holds. So the ramps. This trailer actually has 4 ramps. Ramps are also helpful if you need to change a tire. You can stack these 2 ramps, kind of offset a little bit, back your trailer up on your good tire onto that. That'll leave your bad tire free to spin, and you can take the bad tire off, put the spare on, and then just drive down and put your ramps back. It's a very quick and easy jack for getting your trailer up. Now this trailer has 2 ramps down here, and also lubricate these. Oh, well, that's not supposed to be like that. But there's a ramp down here, right here. These guys are 5 feet, and those guys are 6 feet, and that's the difference. These have side tracks on them, and those are mainly for like tractors to keep the tractor wheels from slipping off. It's kind of a guide on either side. Those guys are just flat, and those are for wider, like the Viper rear wheels, side by side, stuff like that. These guys are mainly for guiding stuff in. You can double up. You can use these, put those guys in front of it, and that gives you a little extra lift. It's entirely up to you, whatever you want to do. The problem is when those guys are down there, they do this, and this is going to be kind of loud. Every time you come over a bump, they make that noise. So we have our pool noodles, and these are about $2, $3. Super cheap. You can get them almost anywhere. I think Dollar General has them, and Dollar General is absolutely everywhere. These guys He's got to get trimmed, but you get the basic idea. These guys go in, and they're a bumper to prevent it from making that sound your entire trip. Now, you can use these also up at the other end, trim off, cut this in half and put it on the floor. I'll just go up there. It's a 20-foot trailer. So you can put it on the floor here, down there. I don't want to lift this up right now. You can put it on the floor right there, and it'll also prevent that ching, 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 just does the whole damn trip. You don't want that. So super cheap, easy to replace. They should last you years, and they don't really interfere with anything. It takes you 1 second to pull them out, set them on the trailer bed, pull your ramps out, do your stuff. You slide everything back in. So also on enclosed trailers, you usually have a door that comes down, and it's going to be on a spring-loaded hinge, a lot like your garage door. These guys cut a slit in it. When your door comes down, the cables come with it. These guys can go on your cables, so you don't trip over them or walk into them or whatever. That's where these guys are really handy. And again, it takes 2 seconds. They don't weigh anything, so they're not going to change your load. It takes 2 seconds to put them on, and they'll save you all weekend from walking into that cable. Hopefully, they save you from walking into that cable. That's our hope, right? I think that's kind of the basics. The lubrication part is so important because you have a lot of metal on metal contact. When you have metal on metal contact, when it gets corroded, it will wear much, much quicker. If it's protected, it will last a lot longer and it'll work a lot better. So up at the hitch, you don't have to have Peterbilt hub grease for your trailer coupling on your hitch ball and inside your hitch coupler. But you also don't want WD-40 or white lithium grease. You need something sort of in the middle. And there's companies that make trailer hitch grease, and it's stronger than white lithium grease, but also not for a Caterpillar D9 bulldozer. It's kind of in between. So you keep, and they come in little jars with a brush, and you just brush it on. If you're in a place that has a lot of corrosion, it doesn't matter, even if you're not. Get a hitch cover. I'll show you. Sorry, hitch ball cover. It's like a little condom for your hitch. It just goes on the hitch ball, and this one obviously has a ton of lube inside of it. And this covers your hitch, helps keep the corrosion from happening, and it also keeps that lube in place. Does not protect your knees or your shins. Those are going to get jacked up no matter what. So get one of those guys. They usually come in pairs, and they'll come in a 2-inch or a 2 5/16. They're like $10 for the pair, and it comes with lube. It comes with hitch lube, which is pretty good. There's better stuff at Napa. Napa is a great place to go get lubricant. You get a little tiny tub of it, and I don't know. I think I have. I'll show you guys what I use most of the time here. I think I have. Yeah. Oh, this is Master Pro. This is super lithium, but this is an EP moly grease. And this is, well, it's not even open, but it's black. That's not racist, that's just what color it is. And a little acid brush or a paintbrush from the store, whatever. 89-cent paintbrush. Got a little notch in here, and then you can put it on whatever you want. And this tub will last you probably 20 years, depending on how much lubing you do. So that's kind of the basics. Oh, one other thing, lighting. And this is something I've learned over many, many thousands, tens of thousands of miles of towing. With lighting, when it comes to trailer lights, it is all so very basic. It is literally a positive and a ground on every single light. If you have one of your trailer lights out, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, it's going to be a bad ground. You'll have to go under the trailer, find the ground for that light, take it off, clean it, clean off where it grounds to, screw it back in, test your light. It will probably work. Most of the time, it is a grounding issue. And rarely is it up at the plug or anywhere else in any of the wiring. Most of the time, it's going to be a grounding issue. Now, here's the fun part. Some of the lights, they have one ground for multiple lights. So now you got to track down the one ground. That's the harder part. But a little bit of patience and you can do that. There's no really good way to protect that. If you're going to use your trailer, it's going to see rain, it's going to see, all the elements, rocks and all that stuff. So it's going to have problems. You'll have to do regular maintenance. If you see a light out, check the ground first. That is most of the time that's what it is. If you just have one light out, I'll bet you $1 it's the ground. If you have all your lights out, it's probably up at the 7 pin or the 4 pin. And then you have a bigger issue that you need to take care of. But if you have a single light out, it's probably the ground. And trailer lights are super, super important. I've seen a lot of guys towing stuff at night. They don't have trailer lights on. They don't have the driving lights. They don't have any other lights on. They just have the tail lights from the truck. It's really dangerous because you have that spatial problem and people come up on you and they're like, oh shit, there's a trailer with a car on. So please have your lights in order and just check them really quick when you first attach the trailer and you plug it in. Just do turn signal and if you have a buddy, have them check the brakes. If you don't have a buddy, back up to a wall, get kind of close and just hit the brakes and check your mirrors. You'll see the lights get bright. So you don't really need someone for that. But yeah, just check the electrical, check the grounds. Plus, it looks nicer when all of your lights work, right? And it's a safety thing. So I'm going to take care of this broken tail light. I have a new one on order. They're about $40. Not terribly expensive, but we also have tow chains, new tow chains. Those are the ones that are up there are Ohio'd out. And this trailer is a 2005. It's 20 years old. So I'm going to trade out the old, rusty, unprotected safety chains with brand new safety chains that'll be here tomorrow. They just bolt to the frame up at the coupler. We're also going to go through everything up at the coupler. It's all going to get lubricated. All of these D-ring mounts, they're not going to squeak like that anymore. And we'll also go through all the fender hinges. Let's see, you guys can see this one best. These are kind of like Jeep hood latches. They just lift up. That one isn't squeaking, but you spray some lube up inside there and it prevents them from squeaking as you're driving because there's nothing worse than for 6 hours or in my case 12 hours. You got a 12-hour tow coming up. So a little bit of lube goes a long way and the lube will last a long time. Lube is great for lubricating and enduring, making things last longer. But on the backside, the other 50% is it's great at picking up dirt. So anything you lubricate is probably going to collect dirt. Double check, make sure you keep it clean, lubricate it again. So simple stuff. And then you'll have trailers, for as long as you want. You'll have a nicely charged battery. Oh, and the winch cable. Now, not all trailers have winches, but this one does. So what I'll do with this winch cable, and this is going to be you guys will laugh at this. You can park it on the street or wherever, fully extend that winch cable, which is about 50 feet, and I'll hook it up to a floor jack just to like the regular notch on the floor jack. And then I will run the cable as I'm hosing it off with like the Lubidol or even with a brush with that grease, make sure the cable stays lubed. And then you can do that once more, pull it all the way out, and then have a rag or a paper towel and get the excess off there. That'll also help with it coiling up correctly. So that's the other thing you have to lube is the winch cable. That's it. But it's funny to work the winch and watch this jack like come across the parking lot. It's very funny. I think it's funny. Maybe nobody else finds humor in it, but I think it's great. So you want to keep tension on it. That's why you have the jack there, is so you're keeping tension on that cable as it spools up in the winch. It's supposed to do the left, right, and line itself up. So that's why you have tension on there. Uh, and I don't know, it's just kind of comical to watch this jack come across the parking lot. I'm weird. I'm simple. So that's about it. And again, you do this trailer maintenance depending on how much you use the trailer. Like this trailer doesn't get used very often, so it hasn't been used obviously in a couple of years. So I'm gonna have to go through and do a ton of this maintenance, but it's a pretty fair deal. Scott's pretty cool for letting me use this trailer. It's a $18,000 trailer, and yeah, it's yeah, yeah, it's worth it for some new tow hooks and a new battery charger and cleaning and lubing everything. Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with all that. So uh, that's about it. Oh, and one other thing, and you guys can't really see it over there. It's just out of frame. The shop tent for the limo showed up today, and the landscaper showed up today and gave me like a putting green. The grass is only like an inch tall, maybe an inch and a quarter, and the canopy and stuff is going to go up tomorrow for where the limo is going to go. Very excited about that. I believe Sunday is limo, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. But uh, that's about it for trailer stuff. Hopefully that helped. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, please send them down below. Text me, whatever you need to do. I'm happy to add it to this video or add it in the comments or whatever, or sorry, in the description. But like I said, there's a lot of different ways to tow vehicles, but there's a lot of basic trailer maintenance that you need to do. And you can take it to a shop. Shops will, pull the hubs and grease those. You do have to do those every few years. That grease wears down. That is heavy duty wheel bearing grease. This trailer is rated for, I want to say it's a 12,000 pound trailer. I think those might be 5,000 pound axles. So it might be a 10,000 pound trailer. So you have serious wheel bearings, and you can do the grease yourself. That's a little more hardcore maintenance. Going underneath, checking all the wiring, protective, and all that stuff. That's more hardcore maintenance. I did that a couple of years ago and did all the protective paint and everything underneath. So hopefully I don't have to do that again. I don't really want to. But yeah, a little bit of maintenance goes a long way. And if you're doing it, if you're towing 5 times a year, you don't have to do much. If you're towing 50 times a year, you're going to have to do a lot more maintenance, and you're going to go through a lot more tires. Tires are not very expensive. They're about 150 bucks a tire for really good ones. Don't chintz out on trailer tires. Get an actual really decent one, a Continental or a Firestone or something. Get a decent brand. Don't do a Ling Long. Don't do a Chen Shin or a Western Star RRRR. Get an actual decent tire. You'll thank me later. And get them mounted and balanced. I know that sounds weird for a trailer tire, but there's nothing worse than on one tire for 5 hours. So get them mounted and balanced. Go to a good guy. If you're in Columbus, go see Columbus Mobile Tire. Go see Dan, and he will absolutely take care of you. Dan mounted and balanced these guys maybe an hour, maybe to unmount the crap ones, put these ones on, balance them, maybe. So yeah, go see Dan. Down here in Florida, I don't have a tire shop yet, so I'll figure that out later. Um, that's about it for tonight. Hopefully, you guys got something out of it. And if you did, let me know. If you have other ideas on stuff you use for your trailering stuff, please let me know. I'm always down to learn. I love teaching folks, but I love learning just as much. So um, yeah, uh, thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right, I'm gonna go take those straps out to the street. Do my free all down there, or not free all, lube it all. Yeah, we'll do our lubing in the street. Don't tell anyone.